Robert Castle. This is the next in a series of short takes on topics of importance in the realm of performance and leadership. Today's topic is the power of silence. In our modern world, most of us do not experience silence. Present day-to-day culture is the antithesis of silence. We wake up to alarms, we eat breakfast, scrolling our devices, we listen to podcasts or music on the commute to work, and from then on, we're managed by our calendars, interrupted frequently by emails, text, social media, and various forms of traditional and new media. Communications are coming in from all sides at all times. They're telling us what to think, what to feel, and how to act. Even gas stations and restaurants and elevators come equipped with screens which transmit collages of images and sounds that are designed to influence our behavior. The impact is a severe reduction in our attention spans, our ability to focus, our ability to concentrate on challenges that are important to us for more than a few moments at a time. And this severely reduces the quality and the depth of our thinking and our ability to solve problems, not only in our businesses, with our teams, but also with our families. So unless we consciously build more silence into our lives, we'll be ruled by distractions. So how much time do you spend going from distraction to distraction? Do you ever feel like you have no time to think? Would you like to create more space in your work or personal environment? If this is you, then keep listening, because I'm going to share with you a great tool that's completely free and always available to you. You just have to have the courage to implement it. And that tool is silence. So let's get started. The great American existentialist, philosopher, and poet, Ralph Waldo Emerson, once said that real action is in silent moments. And I think what Ralph is getting at is that it is in the silent moments, it's in the time between action, when you're not in action, right? When you are still, it is that time that you're spending in careful, deliberate thought or contemplation that turbocharges your actions. So that when you spend time in silence, the actions that you choose to ultimately take will be more powerful, they'll be better, they'll be more effective. Replay that a couple of times. I think it's really important. Real action is in silent moments. Now, given our cultural and commercial environment, at first it can feel like an immense burden or a sacrifice to take a pause, to be still for a moment and allow silence to enter. And when I started playing with silence, I initially experienced feelings of guilt. I felt like I should be doing something more productive and that I was maybe cheating in some way. And that when I turned down the volume, I was doing my business and myself a disservice. I was even self-conscious at times, not wanting people to see me taking silence breaks, like, oh, why do you have your eyes closed in your office? Or are you sleeping on the job? Like something like that. So a lot of leaders fall into this mindset, and the mindset that you always have to be doing something. You have to be multitasking. And if you're not doing that, you're not productive. And in so doing, they actually encourage and fuel distracted behavior that results in poor decision making because people don't have the time to think. So for me personally, I found a number of benefits to incorporating silence into my own life. Silence led to increased clarity of mind, improved performance, greater creativity and innovation, and more empowered leadership. And these were not just, work benefits. There are also great benefits in personal life as well, when you can bring that silence and stillness into challenging personal situations. Well, a number of philosophers have discussed the value of silence for centuries, and modern science is beginning to catch up and realize the value that silence provides. There's starting to be a lot of studies out there demonstrating physical cognitive and emotional benefits. And I won't go into, all of them here, but if you just do a quick internet search, it'll reveal plenty of studies, articles, and blog posts to support my assertions here. So silence is not just, though, for the philosophers and the scientists. You don't have to take their word for it or my word either. Just perform your own tests, perform your own empirical observations, and see if silence makes a difference in your own life. So how can one bring silence into a busy life? Well, it can be accomplished very easily, but it does require some planning and some willingness to try new things and establish some new patterns and possibly to break some old habits. You can choose to integrate it into your life on an hourly, a daily, a weekly, or monthly basis. And there are literally hundreds of different variations or ways to do silence. So you can start by doing pauses. Yeah, just like it sounds. Disconnect from everything and pause for 2 minutes. Just relax, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and just relax for 2 minutes. And you can work your way up to 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You could focus on your breathing. You could just focus on trying to have a clear mind. Think about something that you really love. You could also practice creative silence. So that could be something like any kind of creative activity, like writing, like art, music, if you're a musician, painting, sculpture. So that creative silence can be very therapeutic and can really help boost your creativity when you move out of that period into some kind of problem solving situation. Thought work. So that's another way that you can use silence. So you could actually use it for brainstorming, innovation, research, idea generation, intention setting. Then there's also contemplation and meditation, and there's just millions of things that you can do there. I'm not going to go into them, but with some quick internet searches, you can find out plenty of information there. You could also do silent movement. So go out and take a walk around the block. You could also just do something like a digital moratorium, like I'm going to do no technology for the next hour. And if you have work to do, you write things out. That's an interesting change of pace. And you can also take escape breaks. Go and read for a few minutes, or get away from your screen, and even if you're daydreaming for 5 minutes, it gives your mind a chance to relax and work out in a new and different way. And there's also a lot of technologies that you can use to help with this. There's meditation apps, there's breathing devices, there's noise canceling headphones. So, that all costs money. Feel free to explore those if you think they're interesting. So that gives you some ideas of things you can do. The key is putting yourself in a state of relaxed focus with no beeps, alerts, notifications, phone calls, or other interruptions. Shut it all down, relax, experience calmness. Modern life is so full of so many distractions that taking these silence breaks can be very powerful. It has a way of slowing us down enough to observe the way our mind works, to see the lenses through which we're filtering our reality. And then it gives us an opportunity to deliberately choose a new way. So I think that if you'll also find that when you regularly practice some form of silence, it'll make you much more resilient when you're facing tense situations or pressurized situations. Basically, it helps you to develop grace under pressure. And what I think is happening from my observations is that silence becomes a habit. And then when you're under pressure, right, when something very, tense or stressful is happening, whether it's family or work or school, you're then better able to embody that calm presence of silence that you've already been practicing in the face of whatever situation you now find yourself in. So it's not going to change everything all at once. It's not a miracle cure for all the concerns and challenges in your life. It's a journey, but it's one well worth exploring. There's a lot more that we could go into here. I'll probably explore this quite a bit in some future short takes. This one is really just scratching the surface and encouraging you to explore silence as a practice that can help you. So that's my take on the power of silence. Thank you for listening. I hope it helps. I appreciate you. If you found this worthwhile, please like and subscribe. And if you got a suggestion for a future topic, contact me and I'll consider doing a short take on it sometime in the future. Take care.